Today, I'm going to show you how to install Python and then use basic commands and basic coding with Python. So we're not going to go into anything complicated. This is just getting into it and learning the fundamentals that you need to know. So let's go to downloads, and then we're going to download whatever your latest version is. So just download it and let it install. While this installs, I'll tell you what Python can be used for. Python can be used for making basic programs, to do calculations, to convert files. It should just start downloading automatically. If it hasn't, like it hasn't for me, go back and reinstall it. It can be used to make basic games, it can be made to make programs, basic games, communication, computer science, all really helpful skills that you can use Python for. It's a really easy to learn programming language. So I'll be back once this is finished installing, and then we can get on with learning to program in Python. To press our Windows key, or open up the app if you're on Mac, and go to IDLE. Let that load, give it a second. The first time opening it up will take longer than any other time, but after that it will be quicker. So this is our Python editor. So now let's go about customizing it and making it fit and right for you. So we're going to go to options. First thing you can do is change your font. You can now go into highlights, change your mode to dark mode if you want to. I'm going to leave this as classic because that's what most people end up using. And in general, you go at startup, make sure it says open edit window. It must be open edit window. Then just press apply and OK. So once this is done, we can start off with our coding. Back to the coding segment. I've recorded this once before, but my audio stopped working, so now my audio is working, I'm re-recording it. So, this part is coding. Let's start with the basics, putting text on the screen. Something you're going to have to be able to do for any program or software, so you know what's happening. This is easy to do. We're going to type in print, brackets, speech marks, put in our text. So hello dash world exclamation mark, and speech marks close brackets. And we're going to now explain what this all does. Print means output or display on screen, so it prints it out. You then have your brackets to show what goes inside it, and then your speech marks show it is plain text. It's not fancy code or variables or anything, it's just plain text. And then you have your plain text, and then close the brackets. And something to think about when doing this is you need to make sure there's no spaces between the print and the brackets, because it won't work. With some other programming languages like C#, you can put as many spaces in as you want and it will work it out. Python, you have to be incredibly accurate with the spaces you put in. So if we save that, so find where we're going to save it, so hello world, and now we press run module, you can see it displays hello world. So that's easy. Let's do a slightly harder example that actually involves doing some more coding. We're going to get it to add two numbers together. Still something quite simple, but it shows you more of the basics. We're going to delete this, and we're going to press enter to go down by 2. Then going to type in num1 space equals space 1.5, num2 space equals space 6.3. I'm going to type out the code and then explain to you what it does, just to make it easier for me and easier for you to follow. So num1 is our first variable. A variable is something, or is a name that can be changed what it does. So in our case we're using variables as our numbers, so it can be changed or called on later without us having to do anything fancy. num2 is our second variable, and 6.3 is the number for that we're setting it to. If we can go down, we're going to do sum space equals num1 plus num2. What this does is sum, which is our output variable, will be equaled to num1 plus num2. And we can see from up here, it's 1.5 plus 6.3. But let's say we were going back to a hard piece of code or a long piece of code, and we might not remember what it all does. If we put a hashtag in, we can type what it does. So here is our two numbers, and a computer will never read anything after a hashtag. We can do the same here. This adds our numbers, just so we can read and find out what everything does. And now we want to output our answer, so we can see what we've got. So we can do print, bracket speech mark, the sum of curly brackets 0 curly brackets and curly brackets 1 curly brackets is curly brackets 2 curly brackets. And now we want to close our speech marks, and we want to put a dot in there, then want to type in, we want to put a dot down, then type in format, and then we want to go open up some brackets, and we want to type in num1 dash space num2 dash space sum normal bracket, and save this. So what this does is it prints the sum of 1.5 and 2.6 is, change the spellings, is answer. So whatever it will be once we let the computer work it out. And then we're going to do, but what is 0 and what is 1, we haven't written it. So this is what the format code here does. It will say, format the 0, the 1 and the 2 to be num1, num2, and answer. So let's press Ctrl S to save, press run module, and there we go, the sum of 1.5 and 6.3 is 7.8. And to show this can work with any numbers, let's change 6.3 to 9.9349 and 1 to be 145.983. There we go. We run this. As you can see, it takes a bit longer to load, but it still works. Computers are really good with adding numbers and taking them away, so you can just easily change that to work. Let's do one last example. Let's do random numbers. So what we're going to do here is type in import random. Random. This means we're taking a module, and then we're going to be using that module. It's almost like an extra puzzle piece, if that makes sense. We have our basic puzzle, and then we're taking extra pieces to make it be able to do more. So random will let us do random things. So now we want to go print, open brackets, random dot rand int, open brackets 0 space dash 9 close brackets, and save. So what we're doing here is we're calling our random puzzle piece, and we said we want a random int, so just add an extra t, int, random int, which means a full number, and we want it to be between 0 and 9. So if we save this and click run module, we get 8. And this can work with any numbers, so we could have it want it to be between 1,000, this long number, and 0. Nope, you can't use points. It can only be full numbers because we've got an int there. And 9. Rerun it, we save it, and you can see it's worked. It's picked a random number between 9 and that. So, thank you for watching this video. If you liked this Python programming tutorial and the basics, please consider liking, subscribing, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one, where we're going to be doing more complicated things, like how to make FizzBuzz, or password generators, and things like that. So, I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Bye!